right, we're here with Grant Harding, head baseball coach, and you guys have had a few weeks here to get practice underway. And I know you were able to go outside once or twice. Now it's kind of gone now, a little bit colder, but just kind of talk about what's been happening here early on in the preseason.
Yeah, we got outside on January 26th, which is pretty amazing around here on the turf. It was a little wet, but we had to take advantage of that, and it'll be nice to be the second time we see fly balls. Hopefully not, but when we play in a game instead of the first, so a little jump on past years there. And being outside in January, I don't think that's going to happen very often, but we're back to reality a little bit with the weather today. It's cold out there today.
What have you been impressed with so far in the preseason practices?
The smoothness. You know, we have six seniors, and the way practices have run have been really smooth. We don't have to explain a lot. Being our third year, we have a good familiarity with what we're doing, and you know the drills are going a little quicker, and the defense practice is going a little quicker because guys know what's going on, and I've been kind of impressed with that. And you know the level of competition we have in practice is probably higher than we've had in the past as well, with the more talent we have.
You guys are coming off a season where you won your most games since I think it was 1998, I believe. So just kind of talk about what that has meant and if you've seen a transformation coming into this spring, coming off such a good season.
Yeah, it was 96, which, you know, either way you slice it, it's been a while since we won 15 games. And we had a good year. You know, we beat every team in the league except for Scholastica, and, you know, we're going in the right direction. I think that's kind of really given our guys a little bit of confidence that they can go out and compete with anybody, and that's kind of sparked us through fall ball and here in the indoor season. I think the guys understand that we can do some things we haven't done around here for a long time, and we're excited about it.
Your spring trip is coming up here in about a month. So what kind of things are you looking to kind of tie down before you take that trip down south?
Yeah, the pitchers are bumping up their pitches. We're trying to get the arms, you know, to about the most pitches we're going to throw inside before we work back down towards Florida. And in the weight room, we're going up in our reps a little bit, and it's a tough set before the same thing. We kind of tailor it back. So we're trying to get to the peak of, you know, the amount of pitches we throw, the amount of live at-bats we get, the amount of stuff we're doing in the weight room. You know, we're kind of trying to get to the top of the mountain, so to speak, there before we start coming down the backside and start getting into the fun part of playing games and stuff. You know, we've still got some work to do defensively, but I would say we're ahead of where we've been in past years, and that's just the fact that we've got such a heavy senior class and, you know, returners. We got a lot of returners this year as well.
We'll stick with this returners here for a moment. Just kind of talk about, you know, maybe who you have come back and who you've been impressed with this preseason.
Well, I think Eric Terrace is going to be a senior. He's our will be or is our all-time leader in stolen bases and runs scored. I know he is in one, and the other one about 3 games. Hopefully he'll break the other one. But, you know, he's done a great job in the weight room this year. He's stronger. You know, in the past he's been a single guy and maybe a hustle double here or there because he can run. And he's a lot stronger now and can drive the ball a little bit. So I'm excited to see what his senior season looks like. You know, and Jake Schmitz is another guy that lives in the weight room, and you know he's got one more go around at it up the middle, and excited to see what he can do offensively as well. And you know, Christian Corlath and Kylan Hill, 2 guys in the meat of the order, have really been hitting the ball really well so far in the preseason, and you know hopefully they can take their games up a notch too. Christian had a real good year last year, and Kylan wasn't quite as good as the sophomore year, but I think he'll bounce back this year and be really impressive again at the plate.
And you, I think you have like 8 of your 9 fielders back from this year, so I know it's hard to work on defense inside a little bit, but have you been able to kind of see that growth continue there?
You know, I think so. I think our defense is going to be pretty good. You know, Corlath, you know, we chart a lot of things at practice, and he's been fantastic with the glove over at first, and he'll be able to save a lot of guys some errors over there with his glove. And I think defensively Ryan Wynn played in a lot of games out in center field, and in late innings, I think he'll get an opportunity to come out and compete for that job. Defensively, he's really solid. We got the same guys back up the middle for the third straight year, and for Terrace's fourth. Third base is an interesting battle between Donnie Mavenkamp and Evan Ellingworth to see who's going to win that job. And we got Chandler Erickson behind the plate, and he was really solid last year, and I think he'll going into his sophomore year even be better. He's gained 25 pounds in the weight room, being a two-sport guy. It's really helped him on the football aspect. But I think defensively, like you said, 8 of our 9 fielders back, and some tremendous players in there defensively. I'm excited to see what we can do.
We'll talk to Nate Hazeman, your assistant coach, pitching coach, later about the pitching staff. But just kind of quickly, you returned, I think, 3 of your 4 rotational guys and quite a few arms in the bullpen as well. So just talk about that depth and returners there, too.
Yeah, we're excited to have those guys a year older. A lot of freshmen last year got some big-time innings for us, and we're excited to kind of dive in and see what they can do in the next year. The maturation process a little bit of growing up in college baseball. We tell those guys, you're not facing in high school. You get to 7, 8, 9. Sometimes if you throw strikes, you're going to get outs and strikeouts. Well, in college, nobody's recruiting a 7, 8, 9 hitter. So you're facing everybody's 1 through 4 out of high school in the college lineup. So it's a little different for those guys. And we took some good strides last year. And like every freshman, they had their ups and downs, but we're excited for them. We got Weston Brinksman transferred in from Bemidji. He's left-handed, and that helps. And we got our closer back, Wallvogel, 5 saves and 2 wins last year, all-conference honorable mention. He's a great guy to have.
And just kind of, you mentioned Weston, but any other newcomers that you think are going to have an impact on this team?
We got a lot of new guys that'll help us in the bullpen. A big chunk of our freshman class is pitchers. Offensively, Jackson Gessel has looked pretty good through the preseason. He's a two-sport guy, so we didn't quite get to see him until the spring, but we've been really excited what he can do at the plate. He's an outfielder, and he's a pitcher too. He's a dual guy, and I don't think he'll be lost on the mound either. I think he'll get some innings for us there as well, but he's got an opportunity to come in and compete in the outfield right away. And we've got some other guys. Trent Johnson's trying to win the third base job. He's in the mix. And, we've got a big freshman class, which is good to get our numbers up. But, Jackson stands out right away because he's been playing so well in the preseason.
And I'm sure you guys have talked a little bit about this, but kind of goals going into this season and maybe just also into your trip down to Florida.
Well, the Florida trip it's been interesting. Last year we won 3 games down there, and that was the most since 90-something, I know. So we're excited to try to duplicate that, but we got to go a little bit beyond that and try to get out of there and with a winning record and do some things we haven't done down there in a while. And I think having 6 seniors will help us do that. We're into understand the way we want to play. Those guys have a good grasp of our concepts now, and hopefully that'll translate into some W's down there. But it's a little difficult. It's the first time we're seeing fly balls, seeing somebody that's going to drive the ball not into a net, and some of those things. So, we want to get some more wins down there. As far as goals, our goal is to make the conference tournament. We haven't done that in a while. We were 1 game away last year, so we're getting close. And I think with our leadership, we'll have a chance to, obtain that. With those pitchers being a year older, that'll help. And we've got a little more maturity. We were really young last year, and now we're not quite as young. So I think that'll help us in the long run.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.